What's up, guys? Welcome back to Big Football Guys. My name is Tony. Evan wasn't ready, so that's why I did. I just want to do it when he wasn't even paying attention. Just
Hey, we're
got his
jumping
head
into
down
it. That's
here.
fine. I was looking at my notes. Damn it.
Just want to scare the shit out of him.
My mic's
So
all
in
out of
today's
place now.
episode, we got some new stuff to talk about. A little more news this week than last week. A little more news, little less Q&A, a little less drip or skip. So we definitely need to make sure that we're getting more submissions for drip or skip with BigFootballGuysPodcast@gmail.com. We're going to go through one this week, but we definitely want more in the backlog. And then also no new Q&A questions this week. Again, that's up to you guys. If you have questions, just make sure to leave them down below in this episode, and then we'll check them out next week. So I guess we could start off with our news. Who wants to recap and start with the first one here?
I'll take this one.
You're the
So
equipment
a
guy.
couple weeks ago, what's up?
I was saying you're the equipment buff. I'll let you jump in. I mean, we all kind of are,
Yes.
but you're the OG.
Yeah, no, I'll take it away. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about Stefon Diggs. He wore that F7, and we're kind of like, dude, what are you doing? This looks really weird. And we were kind of curious, like, is he going to go back to the Speed Flex? Last week was the Bills bye week, and then this week he returned, and he was back in his usual setup, which I'm very happy about. The F7 is just not suited for Stefon Diggs, but the Speed Flex looks incredible. Here's a great look of Stefon Diggs wearing the Speed Flex against the Chiefs, and it just looks more natural, man. I'm really excited to see him back in that helmet. What do you guys think?
Do you think that, when I think of Diggs and his equipment, it's really slim. Everything's really, really slim. His shoulder pads kind of almost like blend into the top of his arms, and everything is really tight fitting on him. I almost wonder if the speed, just of how it looks, the Speed Flex looks more tuned to his build as a wide receiver. I don't know if that makes sense, because
it's definitely a more streamlined helmet, and like you said, a lot of his pads are super low key. He wears the 2-in-1 shoulder pads or the Russell Carbon Tex, whichever version he has, and then he never wears any pads in his pants. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that. We might have talked about it on here before, but yeah, no, that's a good point. The Speed Flex does just seem to fit his kind of gear aesthetic a lot better than the F7 does.
Yeah, and guys like Jamar Chase.
I thought you were going to say the opposite. So I thought you actually meant that he was trying the F7 because the F7 face mask sits closer to your face.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I didn't even know it. I've never had an F. I've never held the F7 before.
Yeah,
so.
it's like it depends on the face mask, obviously, but it's right here.
I think I would hate that. I wouldn't like
having
the
F7
face mask so close to my face.
It's lighter and more low profile, which kind of fits his build as well, like what he has going on already. But I feel like the Speed Flex, like in my mind, if you put both these helmets in like a wind tunnel, this is how I'm thinking about it. If you put them both in a wind tunnel, the Speed Flex is going to be more aerodynamic than the F7. No idea if that's true. If anybody's ever done this or has the ability to do it, that would be sick. But that's like where my brain's going as far as why he might choose the Speed Flex and like how it relates to the rest of his equipment.
Well, if we want to start a civil war, since we're at the beginning of the episode here, I'll just clip this and we can put it on the socials and whatnot. Speed Flex or F7? It's the age-old question. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what people say. Yeah.
The age-old question.
If you're gonna pick one right now, Devin, what are you picking?
I'm an F7 guy. I've always been a Schutt helmet guy. It's lighter. It's more of like a egg shape. I love the Schutt Air XP. I always will. So I think the F7 is like a good evolution of that. It's just low profile. It's low key. It's a little bit lighter, and I like how the tectonic plates on the top look. The Speed Flex definitely looks more modern and, like I said, streamlined. But if I were to choose one over the other, I'd go with the Speed Flex or the F7.
See, and I'm a Speed Flex guy. Because number one, lineman background, you want that in the front. Even over, and I actually, you know what? To be honest, of the three, the most comfortable is Visus.
Absolutely.
I would say Visus is the most comfortable, but I pick Speed Flex still, and I always do this when I'm looking at new helmets. I look at the face mask options, and by far, Riddell has the most different styles of non-custom face masks that you can just pick up for the helmet. Visus's are still pretty limited. Schutt, especially for lineman face masks, you have 1-2 options. Where Riddell, you have 15 different options. If you're a lineman, you have your different receiver options. You do have your eye guard options. There's a lot more. And I always do that. Whenever a new helmet comes out, I always look. I'm like, hey, what do you got for face masks? And like generally, like new helmets, like Light has like 3 face masks. Schutt has, like, and it's not really hard to figure out the math on this as far as like scale of a company. Like Riddell has the most face masks, Schutt has the second most, then it would be Visus, and then it would be Light, and then like somewhere in the mix is Zenith, but like no one really. Sometimes the Zenith face mask can be like odd ones to begin with, so like I don't really know where they sit on that scale, but like Riddell is king when it comes to like non-custom face mask options, like buy it right off the shelf.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that kind of leads us into another thing we want to talk about. Should we skip around to, what Schutt's doing right now?
Sure. Another reason why Badass Masks is once again pissed.
It's a good segue, Devin.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's funny. Well, it's not funny for him. It's frankly shitty for him, but there's really nothing he can do about it. And that's that Schutt is going to be offering more of the EGOP style face masks. So basically what happened was we've talked about this a lot this year. A lot of the guys in the NFL have started to wear these like jagged barred face masks. So guys like Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, a ton of guys on the Chiefs, and probably because they're talking to each other. So they've switched from like a standard kind of bar on their face mask here where it goes like straight down eye guard. But this year, a lot of them are wearing like jagged eye guards, and you've seen this a lot across the league. Now, when this started, it was Badass Masks going in. Did he leave a comment? He didn't. And basically just making these customs for these guys, and then it like picks up and gets popular. And then Schutt, goes in and basically says, hey, we're going to offer this as a style to the public. So it kind of just depends on what side of the fence you sit on. Cause like, number one, Badass Masks made it popular this year and was doing it and obviously getting the business from it. And that's cool. So then you kind of look at it from like, oh, like this big company ripped off his idea and now they're doing it. But also at the same time, unless that big company does it, it doesn't get accessible and affordable to the public. So again, it's kind of, tricky. Doesn't matter how you look at this. Like, I still think it's great that Schutt is doing this. They've seen the popularity. They've figured out a way to manufacture it, do it, and like bring it to market like relatively fast, considering how slow these companies can move sometimes. So I still think it's cool that they basically came out with this EGOP 3 style is what they're calling it. And it's identical to kind of what's being worn here. What do you guys think?
One thing I'm noticing, just looking at your post right there, is that the mask, like the stock photo that Schutt posted of the mask, the eye guards look different than the ones that we see on Travis Kelce and Isaiah Pacheco. Do you notice that as well? Like the bar is like cut right in the middle, and then on the Chiefs guys, it's like kind of lower at the bottom and like tapered a little bit more. So
yeah, the bend is definitely a little different. And how they're doing it, and maybe that's part of it. I'm not quite sure again how much goes into it, but like I do know that the ones on the Chiefs are made by Badass Masks, and some other popular players are wearing ones made by him as well, or were to start the year. So it could be one of those same things where they have their OG ones and they're happy with it, and then the equipment manager goes back and now goes to Schutt directly and says, give me more, and they'll look a little different, and probably the guys won't even notice, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not. I got a question regarding the eye guards things for face masks, because I've been wondering for a while, whenever people wear eye guards, I mean, aside from aesthetics, obviously the point of eye guards is to have that just little bit of protection right here, kind of closer to your eyes. Is to prevent like from fingers and hands getting in towards the eyes, right?
I would think so.
Sort of.
The actual code EGOP actually stands for eye guard and oral protection. So that's like the goal of the mask is to protect up here and down here, I think. So I think that's the goal.
On top of that, they have that, and then players also wear a visor. It's like kind of counterproductive. Yeah. Not really, it just adds more protection to it, but it's like it's a looks thing at that point, right?
Yeah, at that point that bar is not really going to do much as far as protection because you already have the visor there. Personally, I love how it looks, so that's why I would do it. But you are right. Like having both of them doesn't really make a ton of sense.
I've always just wondered that, just because I figured the eye guards were for protection, and the visor obviously is for protection, and most players will probably say they wear it for protection, but yeah.
Here we go.
It's also all right. Here's our weekly Tony up from the chair around the studio.
Yes, sir.
He's got a face mask in his left hand.
So This one is like obviously become more popular with linemen. So this is the SF TEG dot or I guess slash or hash or whatever you want to call it, TX. SF.2EG slash TX, which basically stands for speed flex. 2EG stands for the two eye guards. And then the
I'm glad you're breaking
TX
this down.
stands for the Texas. That's what this is called, the Texas style. It's the identical style that's actually on this one here. That's the Texas. Basically just means slanted bars. So I think though the reason is they like offer it in this style because like they're under the assumption that like, oh, like we're gonna put eye guards on it to make it more like less open. But in reality, it's still too open where they do wear it with a visor. So it's kind of like they're trying to do it themselves, but also like the players like you're not doing enough. And so we have to like I think really this would be not more popular, but yeah, regardless of if these eye guards were here, it's a super popular lineman face mask and then it's always being worn with a visor. So they would wear it with a visor or like they would wear this with a visor regardless of if these eye guards were here.
Right.
Like, they're not really doing as much as you might think.
No.
You know,
it's like they're out here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
yep.
I don't know. I've always wondered that.
But anyways, so if you guys do want to pick that one up, like I said, it's on Schutt's website now. I'm not sure if it's actually at other retailers like Green Gridiron, Sports Unlimited, League Outfitters, any of these kind of companies that sell their face masks as well. I don't actually know if it's there, but obviously Schutt was promoting it on their socials as available. So I'm assuming it's available on Schutt's website right now. For you know what?
Yeah,
actually, I don't even know how much are they charging for this thing.
Before the show, I just Googled Schutt, and one of those masks with the slanted eye guards came up from League Outfitters for I think $90. So not too bad. Yeah, pretty affordable. I mean, it's normal for like a regular standard mask from a company. It's not as much as like the customs from Badass Masks and Green Gridiron where they're like $300. So it's affordable and it's cool. So thumbs up for me.
Go get you one.
Let's see. Yeah, F7 EGOP 3-NB/BC, and it is $72.
It's even cheaper.
That's not bad at all. Yeah,
that's a steal.
I'm not even sharing my screen.
We'll have to take your word for it.
Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so here it is here. Available in carbon steel. Titanium is obviously a lot more expensive, $200.
Yeah.
The guys that Travis Kelce and Pacheco's would probably be titanium. I don't really know how that works with Badass Masks. If he can build out of titanium, I have no clue.
Probably.
But yeah, it's definitely like a little bit different here. Like you can see, like Devin said, it's kind of lower and at less of an angle, where this is definitely a little more aggressive, and it's up here, so a little different.
Yeah, these eye guards are more like the ones on the Riddell masks.
Yeah.
They're a lot closer to that than the ones actually on the F7 masks that we've seen.
That's a good point. I actually kind of lied. I didn't realize how many face mask options Schutt has now. They have like every style as equivalent to Riddell. But
Does that mean you're
like
swapping
Riddell.
to F7?
No. I still like Riddell's a little more. Something about maybe even it's the photos of them like not on a helmet that they just, I don't know. It feels like there's so much going on, so many little bars, so many stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do think Riddell has better face masks. They just look better.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the Speedflex has 4 different connecting points, and a lot of the ones you're just showing only have the 2 up top.
Feels kind of old schooly.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I like it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, so that's that. What do we got next?
Well, speaking of old school,
some more old school. There you go.
I can keep talking. I'll talk all news session here. So the next thing, this one's actually interesting, and it's kind of around like a larger conversation this week that happened around concussions.
Yeah.
There was a lot of weird concussion related stuff that happened this week, and like this is the only like equipment related example. Obviously we can't show the clips, and frankly I don't have them to begin with, but like, so Gardner Minshew got clearly like almost knocked out and like stumbled when he got up and didn't get like a ref in front of him and didn't get pulled from the game. Bryce Young got his leg swept out from underneath him, landed on top of his head, stumbled a little bit to get up, didn't get pulled out of the game. TJ Watt, and the reason this came up was I think in the Chiefs game, someone got pulled out to be evaluated and they were pissed off. Maybe it was the Chiefs, maybe it was the Cowboys. There was one game this week where this is where this post came from of like, I saw a post that basically was talking about this. It was like, hey, here's this guy being pulled out of the game and like the hit. And here's like these other examples of where nothing was done, like clearly in front of a ref.
Yeah, no one was pulled out.
No, but the one that was like interesting, looks bad, not great in so many different ways was TJ Watt.
Dude, yes.
And that's because he came back into the game with, so if you guys missed it, he got, let me see if I can, without getting in trouble, I'll find photos only. TJ Watt, kneed in face. Can't show that.
This was the first drive of the game too.
Yeah, so like he got kneed directly in the face, pulled out of the game. They were testing his jaw and doing some different jaw related things. Now the weird thing about that, wherever it is in here, was he then came back in the game with a dark visor. And like that's normally for concussions. Like it feels weird because normally that would be like, oh, like we're giving him a dark visor because his eyes are now sensitive, so we're going to give him a dark one. So it's like not like it was related to his jaw, because like why would they choose a dark visor over a clear visor? And like maybe he just wanted a dark visor, but it did raise a conversation of like, okay, like we had these other guys in the league this week that like were not pulled out for concussions, and then also TJ Watt got kneed in the face, left the game, and came back in with just coincidentally a dark visor, which kind of makes it like sus.
So I noticed right away, because I was one of the probably few thousand people that sat down to watch this game because no one wanted to. And
it's true.
I was watching, and as I looked over when he came back in, and I was like, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, he's wearing a dark visor. And I said, when they showed him on the sideline, he was sitting there like this. Like he would be kind of coming in and out of the frame, and he would be squinting his eyes. And I was like, he's squinting his eyes like it's his head, you know, because if you ever hit your head really hard, or you were ever close to being concussed or were concussed, the light sensitivity really messes with you. So you're like, he was sitting there squinting like this. And then he comes back into the game, he's wearing the dark visor, and I point out to my girlfriend, I was like, they just put a dark visor on his helmet and put him back in the game, probably because he asked them to. It's like, that has got to be 100% because the lights are hurting his eyes. He was squinting on the sideline. There's no question about it. That's the only explanation. Because TJ Watt doesn't wear a visor, right?
I don't think so. Okay. Does he wear a clear one?
They look it up. No.
I was trying to think about that earlier. I can't see him in one, but sometimes the clear ones, they escape me.
Yeah, so I noticed it right away, and that was my immediate thought, was that the light was hurting his eyes because he just hit his head really damn hard, and now he's wearing a dark visor to try to combat that issue.
Yeah, another
training camp, he's worn a couple. That's it.
But does he? If he was wearing a clear one in game?
Oh no,
ever?
No.
Okay, so my thought is maybe this is like trying to play like devil's advocate, almost like he didn't have a head injury. Maybe he got something in his eye, and he's just trying to protect it, and then he decided the dark visor over a clear one. Very unlikely, but it's a thought.
Yeah, I mean, like, they could easily say that, you know, oh, like, he hurt his jaw, not his head, and we wanted to put a visor on to make sure his jaw didn't get hit again. And so we gave him a visor, and we asked him, which one do you want, of a prism, a clear, or a tinted, and he said, give me a tinted one.
Yeah.
Like, it could be. Yeah.
The thing is with those tinted visors is usually you have to have some sort of doctor's note, to my understanding, to wear those in game, because technically the dark tinted ones are legal unless you have like a note saying like, hey, this dude's got light sensitivity, he needs to wear this or else, you know, he'll get headaches or something. So I assume he didn't get a doctor's note in like 2 seconds, but like maybe he did.
Yeah.
I don't know how that goes, but definitely interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, the clear indication was that before he went in the game and they were checking him out, he was sitting on the sideline, and you could see him squinting and wincing just as he was like looking around, and he kept doing it. And then 2 minutes later, all of a sudden I see him on the field and he's wearing the dark visor, and I'm like, that's not good. There might be a little investigation going on there.
Yeah, that's not right. Something's got to be up.
Because it's equipment related, which is obviously our field because we're like that. But at the same time, I think it seemed like Tony and I had the same exact thought, was that dark visor meant something else was going on. It was a head related injury. So
yeah, that's definitely a safety concern.
And I want to post about this on Instagram, and I'm going to get called a narc again.
Probably.
That's just the way it goes.
Yep.
Generates it's a conversation generator though. Like it's actually a big deal. This isn't just this isn't just an equipment thing. This is like, hey, I don't know how the NFL is going to get away with this, if they should get away with it, because it's definitely putting player safety at risk.
Yeah, I mean, TJ Watt's one of those dudes, man. He'll play. If he's a competitor. No matter what. Yeah, he's a dog, bro, for real. But
I don't have a problem with them doing it. They can do whatever the hell they want. They're grown men. They can do anything.
Yeah, I don't care.
But I look at it more from the league perspective of like, the league has always been so hypocritical about everything and concussions and stuff, and then it's like they just like pick and choose. You know what I mean? It's just like, but that's the same thing as everything with the league. It's like they never actually get it right. Like as far as refs goes, any of the other stuff goes, like it is what it is.
No more concussion related.
It's funny. We were actually talking in the script. I had like the Patrick Mahomes loss because like, how did you guys feel about that? Quick, the whole.
Oh, like, so going you see that Allen and complaining about the call.
I don't know what he's complaining about.
Yeah, it was childish. Kadarius Toney was clearly offsides. You're not supposed to do that. The play was sick. Don't get me wrong. I watched him like, dude, that's one of the coolest plays I've ever seen. But like, he lined up offsides. It's not a bad call. It's the correct call. It just sucks that it happened. You know, it's such a dope play. But like, it's the right call. He shouldn't be complaining about it. It's kind of silly.
And people in my mind people are absolutely going in on it because it is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. People are they're happy that it's happening to them, because when there's a prominent figure in the NFL who's had a lot of success, people love to watch them fail. It's the best thing.
Yeah.
He's the golden boy for a while and people still love him. And I do like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's an incredible quarterback. He's insane. Yeah. Everything he does is insane. And I can acknowledge 100% that the NFL does treat him as such, as the golden boy of the NFL. But like, he was clearly offsides. It's 100% the right call. 100% should have been called back, and it was. And for him and Andy Reid to sit there and complain, I think is just crazy. I think it's beyond crazy. Like,
it was stupid.
It's the right call. It's 100% the right call.
Yeah. Just get you guys
I didn't even want to like talk about it because even like it's been so hard. Like it's been gone in on so much over the last like day and a half on the internet that it was like, when I put it in our script like Sunday night or talking points, I was like, oh yeah, we'll talk about that. And then over Monday, I was like, okay, there's no reason to talk about this by Tuesday night. Like this thing will be beaten to death. But yeah, it's not even like a Patrick Mahomes thing because like I like Patrick as well. I watch quarterback. He is a nice guy, right? Like, but it's just like the Chiefs and like obviously everything that's like always gone their way. So it's like it's felt good to like see that not happen and it's unfortunate at their detriment. You know what I mean? Like it was like last week. It's the same thing where last week Patrick takes that hit on the sideline and gets like an unnecessary roughness, even though he's like still in bounds trying to get the first down. Right. And then if you think like of course he gets that call. Now they're gonna be in like range and like there's the game. Boom. Refs gave them the game again. Right. It's like that happened it happened with the roughing the passer call against the Bengals late in the game. It happened in the Super Bowl against the Eagles last year with the passing interference call. Like it's just every time it's like, of course they're getting that call. Right. And then so for like last week for him not to get that passing interference, it was like, you know what? Yeah, like even it out. It's 1 for 1. I'll take that. And then this week for it to happen again, it was like, oh, it's like kind of nice to see you on the other side of this. Again, didn't handle it well. He's already come back and like said, obviously he handled that so poorly and like everyone's knows he did. But yeah,
I thought it was
everyone
crazy.
Agrees.
I thought it was crazy him going up to Josh Allen and saying something about it.
Like he didn't. If he had said it anywhere else, he'd be fine. But that was weird.
If it was just how the audio was cut, and maybe he said I'm sure he said good game or something before, like whenever he dapped him up. But from the audio clip that you see online that's going around, it was just him straight saying that's like the wildest call he's ever seen, and not really even acknowledging Josh Allen. He was, I don't, and Travis Kelce saying, not necessarily as prominent as Mahomes was saying it to Josh Allen, but Kelce said kind of the same thing to Josh Allen, but it was an acknowledgement of Josh Allen saying his play was crazy. So it's like, I don't know. I thought that was wild for Mahomes to just think that was the time to say something. I think Mahomes
already apologized today and said, like, I feel bad for Josh Allen. Like, I handled that poorly. Yeah, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Weird.
The other late game, though, Jalen Ramsey. Little piece of news. This actually came a lot earlier than I thought it was going to, and I'm a little mad because I thought I was plugged in. Now it's like, oh, maybe not be plugged in as I thought I am. But we did know that at some point, Jalen Ramsey was going to be coming out with his own shoe. Now, again, I don't know if these are going to be available to the public. But basically, Factory Lab over the weekend, if you guys remember, we have the Jalen Ramsey JR1 cleats. And what they did for Jalen is they basically took that same design of the upper and they manufactured it into a training shoe as well. Now, again, they still have not said if any of this stuff is going to be available to the public. But Factory Lab does have other shoes that have the runner, R&R, at the kind of tagline of it. So it looks like, I'm assuming that this will be publicly available. They have the Night Runner, which is like a slip-on, kind of like similar to like the Yeezy style. Then they have obviously the JR1, and then the Cleat Runner is kind of like the combo of the two. So maybe similar foam sole, same upper as that. What do you guys think of these? Do you like them? Do you hate them?
I'm a fan. You know, I'd wear some. They're pretty simple, nothing crazy. As far as like release info, did they I think they commented on your post, kind of talking a little bit about that. I could be wrong. I see. It's really small, but I think they said something.
They said, thanks for the love, still in talks for a more general release, but focus now on working with Jalen to deliver the best shoe. Big things coming.
Yeah, nice. So it looks like they'll eventually release.
Comment, but
yeah, I mean, kind of vague, but like it looks like they plan to release, but they want to, handle it out with Jalen before they, go forward with making one for everybody else. But they're cool. I don't mind them. Kind of beef with that strap though. Not a huge fan of that strap, but whatever.
No.
It's just weird.
Is it supposed to mimic the cleat?
Yeah, I think that's the goal. But yeah, the cleat definitely has it. I don't know. It's an interesting
They look
shoe.
like the cleat.
Yeah. What do you think, Evan? Are you rocking these, dude?
I like that there's no branding all over them. I like that you could wear those kind of with anything, with any type of gym equipment you wanted to wear. If you're like me and you don't like clashing brands, then you could wear that with your Nike hoodie or Adidas hoodie or anything like that, and you wouldn't have to be bothered by your weird ADHD tendencies.
Yeah. The only thing with me is the cleat has laces, and these don't have really laces.
That I don't like.
I like laces on training shoes, and like that's
me too.
And say, for example, if
no, you got it.
What?
Oh.
I was about to say, I think no laces is like what makes a shoe considered like a runner. I think that's like one of the main characteristics of like a runner.
Oh, is it?
It's like, yeah, I think. Like there's running shoes and there's like runners, which are like slip-on style, I think. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Which is dumb, because have you ever ran with a pair of shoes that don't have laces before?
Yeah, it's tricky.
It's terrible. Your foot is like sliding around in there. Your heel doesn't feel like it's locked down. Your foot is like going from left to right inside the shoe. You got to have laces on a running shoe if you're going to actually be running in it. If they call it a runner, then sure, go ahead, call it a runner. But it's like, I hate when they do that.
I think it's like NMDs. Like in my mind, the term runner is like run around, like do errands, not like legit running.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the thought.
In my mind, it's running because it looks like an athletic shoe.
That's true. They do look like a legit trainer. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Well, they've said that these are Jalen's trainer that he's supposed to be training in. Right.
Yeah, so I don't know how you get a trainer without laces.
It's supposed to be like a high performance. I don't know. Like, and who knows? Like maybe I don't know. It's tough to say because they're super tight fitting. like even his JR cleats, like they hug your foot very well. So it's like I don't know how much the laces are actually doing versus like the material around. So it's like it could go either way.
Yeah, that reminds me of the those Adidas Prime Knit Freaks that you like so much with no laces. You know,
Dude,
they just
you
rely
can
on like
see
that
him.
tight fit knit construction to like hold them to your foot.
Yeah, Freak 22 Ultras. I love those things.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't wear them in game, right? But I love them as a coach.
Yeah,
You know, so I guess that's a difference.
Easy to slip on and off.
Yeah,
yeah,
tight enough, easy to slip on and off. Same thing. It's like when you're coaching, you know, you'll have like on your laces, like you won't tie your laces, but like you'll put a little knot at the edge, so it's like you never have to like tie them, but they're like tight enough to slip on type thing.
So you wear your cleats when you're out there with the boys? Yep. Yeah. Okay. Me too.
Everyone's different. Some kids have given me shit for wearing cleats as a coach. I'm like, dude, it's mucky out here, it's muddy, and I'm like, we're doing lineman drills and stuff. Like, I want cleats on.
It also hurts a little bit less when you get stepped on with cleats versus a pair of shoes. I don't know why, but it does. Like if you're wearing cleats and someone steps on you with their cleats versus if you're wearing shoes and someone steps on you with their cleats is what I'm saying.
Personally, I think kids were just haters because I would show up to every day. I would wear a different pair of cleats. And so like I'd break out the Monsters Inc. I'd break out like my Freak Ultras, like my Jordans, like every day I'd do something different and just swag on them. And I don't think they appreciated that, you know, and they took it out on me.
I was kind of the same way, to be honest. I don't have as much as you did, but I would wear a different pair of cleats like every other day, and I'd bring a different pair of gloves or just all the ones that I had. And because I'd run routes and stuff with the scout team and be going against our starting cornerbacks and stuff like that. And the days that I didn't wear cleats were the ones where they were questioning me. They're like, "Where are your cleats at, Evan?" And I was like, "I just didn't want to wear them today. I'm not running against you guys. I'm just gonna chill today." And that was when it got weird, was because they noticed when I wasn't wearing them.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like running around, like actively like participating almost in the practice, then cleats make sense. But like, I don't think I would wear. I don't coach at all, but I don't think I would wear cleats unless I was doing stuff like that.
Yeah. I only wore them if I wore them pretty much every day because for the most part I would be doing something. But on the days where I knew I wasn't going to, I wouldn't wear them because it's like it's more comfortable to just stand out there in shoes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable standing around in cleats for 2.5, 3 hours if you're not doing anything.
I mean, to be honest, and that's one of the reasons I like those is like at work, I'm wearing Ultra Boost. And like I didn't want to wear my Ultra Boost in the field and get like grass stains on like the nice like my white midsole and stuff. And I'd literally just switch into my Freak 22s because they also had Ultra Boost. Like they were not much less comfortable. You know, I love those things.
They're pretty cozy.
Oh yeah. All right, what's next?
What do we got, Evan?
I believe it is drip or skip, because I was going to ask you if any of your kids would have made this drip or skip list, you think? Or at least the drip side of the list.
No. They don't.
Jeez.
No, I think I've talked about this. They didn't, and like I gave them shit. Like they didn't know how to style stuff. You know what I mean? Like they thought they did.
You said they
but
tried.
They didn't. Yeah. Like sometimes the visors would be all whack and like out of place and like random stuff. And like, you know, I brought some, like I tried to donate a bunch of stuff to the kids this year. And like some of them, like they were taking from me, like one kid like really wanted the Oregon gloves that I had. And so he was wearing like Oregon colorway gloves on like a blue team.
Yeah,
that don't work.
And like one kid was doing scrunch socks, but it was like two random socks. Like one of them was like a Emerald or Umbrio, like the soccer brand, that was like the bottom cut off. So it's like they didn't match, and like one like dirtier, and like they weren't scrunched well. I was like, dude, like a pair of scrunch socks is like $15. Like if you really want to do it.
Yeah, you gotta teach them, man. You gotta educate these guys.
Yeah, but the thing is, like they don't, like honestly, the kids don't really know what I do. You know what I mean? They don't really know that this exists.
Really?
Yeah. For the most part, they just know that like Coach Tony gets cool gear somehow.
He pulls up a new cleats every single week, but nobody knows why.
Yeah. And so it's like maybe they you know what? They look at me like it's crazy, dude. They look at me as like an old head. Legit. And they're like, dude, like, you're old. I'm like, okay, first off, I'm 26. Okay. So calm down. Second off, I know this shit.
Yeah, I know way more than you, pal.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's the opposite with me. They ask me all the time because, you know, it's like I said, I super small team, and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Well, what do you think about this, Evan? Like, does this look good? Does this drip? Does this drip?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting somewhere." They're like, "All right, sweet." Then they'll go and, but every game, before every game, every practice, if they get new gloves, they get new cleats, they always come. They're like, I had to show them to Evan. Like, I got to see what he has to say. And then they'll ask me which ones to get, what brands to get. Obviously, I'm biased, so I'm always just going to say, like, go with Nike or something like that. But I'll sit there beginning of practice or beginning of the season. They're coming to me, and I was like, all right, what do you think right now? Like, the gloves, the cleats. And I was like, well, you got Nike gloves, great. Under Armour cleats, can't do that. So I don't like that. Don't switch them up like that. Just get both, you know? You just try to stick together or get like a neutral brand. And they come to me and they ask. So I appreciate that. You know, makes me feel like they like my input, which is cool.
It's actually crazy. Like, this is the first time I've actually thought down and thought about it, that like, yeah, literally no one has ever asked me on the team like what I for freaking drip advice.
How do you not flex on them a little bit, just like a tiny bit, to
just a little
be like,
bit,
yo,
man.
check this out. Look at what we do here. You know, this is, because if you do that, I guess if you do that, then maybe they won't leave you alone about it.
You know what's actually crazy is I actually had that where, well, it's definitely a mix, because like a couple years ago, a ton of kids asked me all the time about it, right? And all those kids knew, and they asked me, and like, I don't know, I've never like loved talking about what I actually do to like other people. It's just like my thing, because most people don't get it.
They don't.
So it's just no.
Yeah.
Right. It's like with my parents, for example, or like any of that kind of stuff. My parents, I'll just, you know, like my day job, I'm a data architect. I make databases. I design databases and stuff. You know what? For my parents, just tell your friends that I work for a software company, and just like, they don't need to know about any of this. Because like, as soon as we start trying to explain it, it goes off the wall so fast. I remember when it was small, my dad would always tell people I had a website, because like that was like his frame of reference for like, holy shit, my son has a website. But I was huge. Like, yo, Dad, like, this website, linemanfootball.com, is literally just like a landing page which tells you to go check out my YouTube channel, because like that's where things are happening. But like there was just no, you know, connection about like how that worked. And like, people all the time still ask me, and they're like, oh, are you gonna like, I'll just tell them I got like a product or something, like Factory Lab sent us the what shoes were those? What were they called, Devin? Do you remember?
Shoes?
Yeah, they sent us like the slip-ons.
Oh, I can't remember. No, the Factory Lab. Yeah, I just don't know what they're called.
They're mad comfortable. I wear them at work all the time. The looks, Office is very against them. I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate them. They're similar to Crocs, but they're like stupid comfortable. So like, I love them around the office.
Yeah.
But like, people still ask me, they're like, oh, like, are you gonna review those? I'm like, no, like, reviews is like maybe 30% of our content that actually goes out. But like, no one just kind of gets what we do, and so I don't really bother. And like, if the kids don't know what I do from like themselves, like,
why tell them?
No, I'm
why
not
go
trying
out of your way to tell them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to impress a bunch of grade 10s.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I'll give them the free stuff and just leave it at that. And if they ask, then I'll tell them. I don't lie about it, but like, I don't go to maybe be like, hey, just so you know, like, you know, I know someone pretty high up at Adidas, and like, they sent these to me for free.
Yeah. What does that get you, right?
No, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I started working with you guys towards the tail end of our season, so I never told anyone, like, because I know they've come across you, you know, like, I've seen on their phones, I've seen the Footballrs stuff and football equipment on like Instagram and TikTok, and so like, you know, I'm sitting here looking at them, watching it, and I'm like, I fucking know those guys. Like, I kind of do a little bit of work with those guys, and the only one who knows is my girlfriend's brother, who's like I'm really close with on the football team. So he's the only one that I'll like sit here and kind of tell about like what we do and some of the cool stuff that you guys have and some of the cool experiences that you guys get. And it's like the same thing because he doesn't, who's he going to tell? Because he's kind of like me. No one else really cares. No one else cares. So it's like he doesn't really tell anyone because who cares,
Yeah.
So I get it. It's the same thing.
Yep. Pretty much my wife and Devin know what's going on in my life about this stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone else as a family circle knows a bit, kind of certain people. And like some of my buddies know a lot about it because I know they're interested in this stuff. And then other of my buddies know nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it just depends on,
Yeah. Same thing.
I'm okay with that. I don't need it to be anything, frankly, for these kids and stuff. Like, it doesn't need to be, it would be cool if they showed me some respect. Put some respect on my name, but
they're just calling you an old head with all these cleats.
Yeah, dude. A dude was like, he like dapped up a kid, and then yesterday, and I went to dap him up, and he shook my hand, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Like, I was like, "That's not cool." And he was like, "Yo, I'm not dapping you up, man. You're old. You're gotta be like 30." And I was like,
"Oh, that hurts. That's gotta hurt a little bit,
you, man.
That's mean." If someone goes in for a dap, you give them a dap no matter what.
I know.
You don't turn it down.
Kids these days, man.
No respect.
All right, just get like
kids these days. Let's take
name
it out
tag
on
that says "I'm 26." Can we get you one of those?
I'm 26. A T-shirt.
Yeah, just wear a little name tag. Tony, I'm 26 years old. Count me up.
So here's the Dripper Skip folder, so you can see who we've done and who's coming up.
Who we got
this week? We're going to be looking at Nathan O'Quinn. Again, Nathan, thank you for submitting these photos. You just got to know whatever happens next, and you signed up for. And yeah, let's jump into it. We got 3 photos.
See what you got, Nate.
This is photo number 1. This is photo number 2. So we'll hit each quick.
So this is Tony's realm. Already, this is Tony's realm.
Yeah, this is a lineman, bro. Tony, you take the lead on this one, man. What do you think? Drip? Skip?
Okay. So, a couple things. If this is a new photo, kind of cool. I never actually liked the style of them. He's rocking the Nike Lunar Beast Elite TDs. Nike Lunar Beast Elite.
Those are the Force Savage Elite ones.
That's it, right. Force Savage Elite ones. The Elite TDs were different. So yeah, these are the Force Savage Elite TD ones. I never loved these. I have a pair of them behind me in black. The red, I like that, back when you could get lineman cleats in different colors. That was cool for a bit. So I never loved these as an actual cleat for myself. And also, I always hated the high top look. So that's kind of a little bit, I've just never loved these cleats, but still like cool old school lineman cleat. And especially because like highlights, boom, you can see highlights right here. I hated when linemen would wear highlights. I hated the look of linemen in highlights.
Really?
They were popular in general. Like high ankle sport. Yeah, I've always hated the highlights for like everyone. So, same kind of vibe that I didn't love. He's rocking the tights underneath the pads. Devin, what gloves are these?
It's kind of tough to tell. Let me look at it on my screen. They look to be a pair of Salute to Service Nike Superrad 4s or maybe 4.5s. There's another picture where you can see the Salute to Service design on the front of the palm. Might be the other one.
Yep.
Yeah, I picked it up at some point. Yeah. Cool gloves. Those are NFL issue. You can't get those unless you hop on eBay and pay a couple bucks for them.
eBay. Yep.
Yeah. You can't get those at your local store. So that's cool.
Okay. So going through it. So I like the half sleeve. I wore a half sleeve. Not half sleeve as in like a sleeve, as in like the half sleeve look.
Like
got a Jordan armband.
Quarter sleeve.
Don't love that. He's rocking a Supreme arm sleeve, which
that is fire. I'm on that. I like that.
No. In 2023. You know, maybe 4 years ago, but I don't know about now. It's cool. Like I like the creativity.
Way to go,
I think
Nathan.
It looks good. I mean, Nate, man, you're really reaching the bottom of the bag for that, man. I can appreciate it. You know, it's all right.
And no one else is doing it.
Yeah.
Well, if you go on his team and he's the only one, then great. But if there's another one, who's ripping off whose look?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last thing would be face mask wise. He's got some kind of red chin strap. I'm not sure if it's like super tough to tell if that's just like the Riddell hard cup in red or if this little bit of white liner is the Sports Star. Don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's just a Riddell hard cup. Yeah, I think
and then
I don't see the net over the foam.
Yeah. Oakley visor. And then HD version of the face mask.
Yeah.
So I got a couple questions. I'm not gonna lie, the guy's body's like a very long, lanky kind of body, so it's like proportion-wise, it kind of makes things a little off. Like his pants, it's like they don't go like this stripe doesn't go low enough here. And like I can't tell if that's because of his pants or if it's the design. Before we get into it, is this drip or skip?
I'm gonna give it a drip.
Oh, see, tricky. So I kind of want to give it a skip, but like, there's a lot of good pieces there. There's a lot of good pieces there.
From Tony too.
The Speed Flex is cool. The visor's cool. The sleeve's cool. The gloves are cool. The cleats are cool. But I feel like the uniform bit is where he's losing points. Like the sock game, nothing really going on there. The jersey and the shoulder pads, like, just looks a little bit goofy to me almost.
Well, like, what if he can't control the jersey and the shoulder pads? It's a team issue.
The shoulder pads, he could probably get some. I mean, you want my honest opinion? I'm doing this how I do it.
Yep.
Like, you see those weird like bumps in the shoulder pad?
I would defend.
I know what pads these are.
They're just not like working for me. And then there's nothing going on with the sock game. He can control that. The cleats are cool. The gloves are cool. The sleeves are cool. The helmet setup's fine. The visor's cool. But like everything else, I'm like not really sold on. Like he could easily turn this into a drip for me. But for right now, as it stands, these photos, it's a skip.
Damn.
Yep. Hey, Nathan. I told you we're gonna be ruthless, man. Shout out to Nathan. Yeah. You got some good stuff going on, but you can do better. You can do better. I got faith in you, man.
So, yeah, I was gonna say none of this like works together. So
that's true.
Again, yeah. I don't love those cleats the way they looked, although it is cool because they're an old school cleat. I'll give you that. Don't love it with like the sock. Also, obviously, I hate the Supreme arm sleeve. I don't really like that there is a random Jordan armband, sweatband on the left arm, and I don't like that he has the half sleeve underneath the arm sleeve. I do not like the HD face mask. I've never liked the HD versions of these face masks where it has a secondary bar across here. Just feels a little more.
I'll be devil's advocate on that one, and I'll say that maybe that the face mask is one of those things where if this is high school, which I can't tell if this is or not, so most of the time, you don't have the option of picking unless you buy your own. So
I'm guessing that this is men's league.
Okay.
Because
big boy. That's a big boy.
I'm looking at so I see this dude, this guy. You know what I mean? Like he's a D lineman wearing 85 at that size. He's
that's not high school.
No, he's 39, still living his glory days. This guy is clearly older. Like you could see this look. Like he's got this is. So you know how I know that this dude is in his 30s or late 20s? It's because of the Nike thin bicep bands that used to be so popular to do on one arm, like two. Yep. You do like on this arm, you do like a red sleeve with two white bands over top of the sleeve, and then on this arm, you do like two black bands or something, and then you do like the half sleeve Nike Elite sock with the band. Like this dude is in his 30s or late 20s, guaranteed.
You're right.
I'm pretty sure that's a Shock 2.0 visor. Like it has the clips. Maybe they look a little small, so it might be an old school visor. It is a real hard cup. There's just a lot of
All I had to do was look at that guy right in the middle of 19 and 67, and that was the giveaway.
Yeah. So what do you think? Is this men's league? Like, look at the cleats. You got some, but also that tells me that, like, you know, he's been wearing these cleats for 6 years. 6 years, I think these came out.
I want to say they dropped in 2017. Off the top of my head, I think so. Yeah.
But like, if you just look at these cleats, they look like bricks on your feet. They look like you're wearing ice skates.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
Ice skates. That's good. That's good.
It's a fair assessment.
It's a good analogy.
And
shout out
also,
11,
I'm pretty sure, just based on this of the pad, the way it droops like that, these shoulder pads, I think these are the tag shoulder pads. Tags were good, really good lightweight pads, but they always just kind of drooped in like a foreign look of what a shoulder pad generally looks like. These ones right here, I wore these tags. You know, my team wore tags, but yeah, it's just, I'm sorry, but like we said,
yep,
not drip. This is, but it is funny though. This is men's league drip. That's a good way to put it. This is men's league drip.
Because if you compare it to the other lineman in that picture, he's top tier. So
yeah, men's league drip.
It's a drip. It's drip for me. I'll stand on that.
Men's league drip. That's how I'll classify it.
I still think he can do better. I'm still giving him a skip. I'm sorry, right. 67. I'm sorry, Nathan, man. I think you can do better. I think you can. You clearly like have a good understanding of like the gear and like what's cool, but like just put it together a little bit better. You know, make a couple small adjustments and you'll be there. So you got it.
Joke's on you guys. I'm Nathan's favorite now.
Would you guys ever play in a men's league?
No, not.
I mean, probably
my
not.
My body's too messed up now.
Yeah, my body's not prepared.
Yeah, like my neck is like I have a lot of neck issues. I have a lot of stuff because of football. I could not imagine strapping a helmet back on.
Not to go hit someone.
After one practice, like how jacked up my neck would be. Like,
yeah, I have the same thing.
Concussions. I have headache issues and stuff, but like, yeah, dude, my neck is like my biggest barrier in life right now.
Yeah.
I could not imagine how I would feel after one practice.
My knee and my shoulder, man. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no freaking way. So again, applaud to the dudes that are like 30 something and still playing men's league. Like,
yeah,
that takes something. Like, So not ripping on men's league for that, but it is men's league drip, which is.
We appreciate Nathan. We appreciate you sending in your drip. If you guys want us to drip or skip your drip, please send it in. We need submissions. We're super excited. We will do it. Like you just saw, I just skipped them, but like we're gonna do it how we're like the right way. That made no sense. We will be harsh. So prepare yourself. All right.
Yep. Drip or skip. BigFootballGuys pod at gmail.com. Podcast at gmail.com.
Since we're talking about drip, do we want to show who we think had drip this week from the league?
Yeah, 100%. The best.
Let's do that first. Let's do that. All right, Evan, you're going first.
All right, my guy. Not an undercard this week. Not a undervalued name whatsoever. He's probably the most valued name on this team at the moment. DJ Moore, wide receiver for Chicago Bears. This guy, he puts it on every single week. And speed flex guy at the wide receiver position, since we were talking about it earlier, he's one of the guys that stays faithful to it. But I like what he had going on this week specifically. He had those white and silver VaporJet 4s, which you do not see many players wearing anymore. Like the only guys you can think of are Christian McCaffrey and Levante David? Or is it the other one, other linebacker for the Buccaneers?
Oh, Devin White. Yeah.
Devin White.
Yep.
Those are the two guys that I think of when I think of those gloves currently in the league. So DJ Moore had those on, and then he had those are those custom? Obviously they're custom, but are they actual like are those a dunk silhouette or a Jordan 1 silhouette cleat?
Yeah, those are the actual like Panda dunks that dropped.
Okay,
not too long ago. Yep.
Yeah, and I think those were his My Cause cleats as well. I don't know what the foundation was for those, but the pink was really cool, and I liked them. He switched into some Untouchable Pro 3 cleats at some point, which are the all orange ones too, which looked really good. So my guy's DJ Moore.
Nice. Solid. I like it.
Yeah.
Unique gloves.
And he had a
cleats.
hell of a game. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, I played
My
against
guy.
him.
Oh, too late. My guy is Devin. Pronounce his last name.
This is Charles O'Menahue.
Charles O'Menahue. There it is. So we've talked about him a little bit, but I was kind of looking at his style this weekend. I kind of thought it deserved a little bit of appreciation. So Charles O'Menahue is on the Chiefs. He is the only lineman to be wearing the Jalen Ramsey style face mask. And as like kind of a couple things that I love about his look. Number one, he has a visor on this. I cannot figure out how to fit a visor on that face mask. I don't know how these equipment managers are doing it. Every time I see someone wearing it, I look at all the photos for the week and like look to see if they cut the clips or like did something. And like, I'm not gonna lie, people are leaving comments that are just completely not helpful. That like I have the clips upside down. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not it. But anyway, so as far as his look goes, he's got the Jalen Ramsey face mask, the dark visor. I love when the Chiefs guys break out the all yellow, like Travis Kelce with his gloves. So I love the yellow gloves. He's doing the padded sleeve, I believe. Elbow pad. Yeah, he always rocks it with a pad. And yeah, if you notice, he doesn't have a random undershirt underneath it. He's rocking the sleeve like you should. What else? He does the scrunch sock look in red, which is a little different, like that. I don't want to keep going in on Nathan, but it's just
jeez.
Yeah. His cleats, Devin. What are these cleats?
Let's see. I gotta pull it up. The picture. Off memory. I want to say they were Nike Alpha Menace Elite 2s.
Yes, those are the yeah, like the high top. Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
So anyways, big strap. Yeah. Earlier in the year, he was wearing them in this, and then he took the same ones as of this week. And now he made them like chrome hearts, so he had someone customize them and do like chrome hearts looking stuff on the side. Again, I know we've talked about chrome hearts; it is what it is at this point. But it was just a little poppy yellow.
They look good.
His look as a D lineman is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me. I was kidding. I like your cleats. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He will pummel you.
Yeah.
How the hell? Like, dude, how do they do it? I want to know.
Dude, just shoot him a text, man. What's up, Charles? Charles, let us know how you got. Well, I guess you probably didn't put it on, but let us know how your EQ staff did.
You got his number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Charles are tight. That's my boy.
Don't tell him what I said about his cleats.
I might.
Yeah.
But nah, dude, that's a good look, especially for like a
D
line.
Like we talked about, old school baggy shirt hanging out the bottom. Always love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's clean.
It's a good look.
Clean.
All right, who you got, Dan?
So I have Mr. Mike Ford.
Oh, Nathan's your best looks. Oh.
Yeah, he's in my best looks all the time. He's got a good look. A lot of people are kind of like not a huge fan of it, but I think it's clean. So up top, we've got Riddell Speedflex. He's got a tinted visor on there. And then this is my favorite part. It's the arm sleeves. So he's taking like the scrunch socks, the leg sleeves of the Browns and using them as arm sleeves. And like, I know it's kind of overkill on the orange stripes, but it's cool. And I like it a lot. You know, I think it's pretty fresh.
Controversial.
Yeah, a lot of people are like not messing with it, but I'm like, you know what? It's different. And I like different. You know, I feel like people should get rewarded for creativity. And I like it. He's got white Nike VaporJet 7s, I would assume. It's kind of tough to tell from this photo. I'm pretty sure he has some sort of custom trade decal thigh pad as well. And then the reason that like solidified him being on this list was the cleats. Those are the old Nike Vapor Carbon Flies. They're a little tough to see behind the spat job, but those are some of the coolest cleats ever. So, like I said, that's what kind of solidified me putting him as my best look for this week. You know, anytime you see those cleats, it's like, okay, this guy knows equipment, he knows ball, beast. And then, he also has the baggy undershirt, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Mike Ford, this dude, show some love to him, man. I don't know why everybody hates on him every time I put him in my best looks, but he's got some drip drop going on over there. What do you guys think? You fan?
I've seen some Chiefs players do the leg sleeve as an arm sleeve because they have that kind of yellow stripe up at the top by their bicep.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a little tough with the Browns because of how many stripes there are. So it's like, I don't know, 4 inches worth of stripes, but I like it because it's unique and I think it's a cool look.
Yeah.
I don't love it.
You know,
Dang.
It's a lot of stripe.
Yeah, no, I could see why. Like I said,
A little too
the
much for me.
stripes. Yeah. I like it. I think it's cool, but I definitely agree that why you disagree, I should say.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, what's the last thing we got going on, Evan?
We got Cleat.
We got Devin's. Did you say Evan or Devin?
Devin?
It's
Me?
Cleat Heat time, but did you say Evan or
Figure it
Devin?
out.
We're jumping into it.
Oh.
Devin, do your thing.
I don't know. It's Cleat Heat time. All right, that's all that matters. So we're going to look at the best 10 cleats from week 14. It's already week 14, which is kind of insane. We're kind of at the tail end of the season here. But up first, these cleats, insane. So this is CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys, Kobe's. These are sick, done by Coda Customs. The details on these are pretty incredible. So you've got the navy upper with some of the white details, and then that 88, it's really small, but it's on the side of the heel box or heel cup there. Also, something I just noticed about CD's cleats is that he has the old front plate on there as well. So that's the same front plate that's on like the OG Vapor Carbon Elites from 2014, not the usual front plate from the edge plate. That was a lot of different words, but it's cool. And these cleats are pretty cool.
So how would they do that?
What do you mean?
They would have to like cut. They'd have to cut it up to make it where it's only half the plate, right?
Basically, but these cleats come from Nike, from the factory for some of these Nike guys. Christian McCaffrey gets the same stuff, yeah, because they know what their guys prefer, and they kind of cater them towards them.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no clue that he had that. I didn't know that they would do that. I thought it'd be like, hey, pick up plate that we already make, not like, okay, we'll take this other plate and we'll remanufacture it into a 2-piece so you can use like the existing edge heel versus the edge like toe.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that do it. Have we? Yeah, I feel like I've seen.
Didn't we talk about it with Christian McCaffrey?
Have we?
Yeah, CMC's been doing it. He did it on the Vapor and Touch or Vapor Edge 360 Pro 1s and now the 2s as well. He always has that front plate on his stuff.
That was the example I remember. Yeah, but
he might have even had that front plate on his Vapor Untouchable Pro 3s when he was with Carolina. Can't remember.
OBJ.
Yeah. Next up, we got OBJ. So, I got mixed feelings about this, but I'll just talk about it. So these are a Jordan 2 custom, right? Black and purple, really sick. But the base cleat is an Adidas Adi Zero.
Yeah,
and
look at the traction.
That feels illegal, man. You can't put a Jordan silhouette on an Adidas football cleat. There's got to be something wrong with that, right?
Yep. Nope.
That feels so wrong. Like, I understand you're going through a legal battle or whatever, but like, this is outrageous.
So it's an Adidas 12.0 PK. Is my guess?
Yeah, you see the cuff.
Yeah. Cuff, new traction plate. I guess their existing traction plate, but the cuff is high. So I'm assuming it's the 12. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be the same cuff from the X. It looks like a similar special makeup that Juju Smith-Schuster has.
Yeah.
Just the shape of the cuff at the end there. But either way, I mean, the cleats are dope. Like, don't get me wrong, these are customs by the surgeon. They're really cool cleats. They've got his number 3 on them, black, purple, really cool. But just the idea of having a Jordan silhouette on top of an Adidas football cleat is just really it feels illegal, like truly. So
yeah,
OBJ, I love the cleats, bro, but like, I don't know if you should be doing this. This feels wrong. But oh well.
Debo, who's he got?
So next up we got Debo. So these are customs by Sean the Don, and they say Be Easy on the side. Do you guys know who this artist is? Is this Easy? I'm like not super culturally involved like that.
Looking at the picture,
that's definitely not Easy on the right cleat.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I can't tell on the other cleat.
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are, to be completely honest with you. But I figured people out there would appreciate them. So that's how they ended up on cleat.
Has Debo been wearing the Jordan Flylocks all year?
He's kind of mixed them in a few times. He's worn a lot of the Jordan Vaporjet 7s, but he has worn these a couple times.
Those really did not catch on like I thought they would.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys wearing them. I know Devontae Adams has them, and then trying to think what other Jordan athletes would wear them.
All right,
none are coming to mind.
Grant Delpit, what's he wearing?
Oh wait, you went to best looks.
Oh, that's why I was like,
how did Grant Delpit find his way in Cleat?
There it is. Oh, okay, never mind.
So next up, we got Byron Murphy, Minnesota Vikings. So these are pretty clean. So these are a custom pair of Jordan 1 lows. They're purple, black Nike swoosh with a little white outline. It kind of reminds me of those purple lobster dunks. It's like a similar color scheme. I don't think it's inspired by them, but like the color scheme's similar. And it worked really nicely with these Vikings uniforms. And then he did a great job, using the black accessories with the arm sleeve, gloves, undershirt, a little bit of sock at the bottom. Super clean look, perfect cleat for this look. And that's why I put him on Cleat Heat. Super clean, look good. You guys think it looks clean?
Yeah, those are nice. I like the white outline around the Jordan logo or around the Nike swoosh.
I do too.
Yeah, it's subtle, but like it's needed. It's so clean.
Flynn Island agrees with us, apparently.
Who?
The person who commented right there.
Flynn Island 39.
Byron Murphy was tough. Shout out Flynn Island 39. You're a beast.
Sorry.
Who we got? Is it? Oh, Jarrett McKinnon.
Oh, yeah. So next up, we got Jarrett McKinnon, Kansas City Chiefs. So these are inspired by a Dornbecker shoe. You'd have to go to Mosh's page, Mosh275, to see what they're inspired by. He did a post on them, I think. Or maybe I think he did. I'm running over there to check.
Yep.
Did he say what they're called? It was like a weird name. It was like a Vomero, something weird.
Vomero 5 inspired.
Yeah, so these are inspired by a pretty, I don't really know much about them. Kind of low-key pair of Nike shoes, the Nike Vomero 5. But I thought just like the silhouette, like the design was really, really cool. And it was like perfectly in line with the Chiefs uniforms as well. It's a cool silhouette. You guys agree with me, right? These are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are cool.
It's something different. It's something different too. We've seen a lot of the same stuff kind of over and over, but this is like kind of outside the box a little bit, so I can appreciate it.
It's a dad shoe cleat, which is pretty cool. The Vomero 5 is like a kind of old, like a 90s looking running shoe that would kind of probably be considered a dad shoe now.
That's cool. I like seeing those older shoes, kind of recreated. It's just so unique to see, it's different from your Jordans and your Dunks,
It looks really cool with that cleat with the low top. What is that? The Edge Speed or whatever it's called?
Yeah, that's the Edge Speed 1. That's the original one.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
All right, Devontae.
Next up, we got Devontae Adams, LA Raiders. He's worn these cleats a couple times already, I think, but I've never actually put them in a cleat heat because they're really subtle. Like, you don't really notice them on the field or even in pictures because they're just like black on gray. And then you get like a splash of, is that purple or blue? I can't even tell.
It looks purple to me.
Purple, yeah.
Yeah, it's like such a subtle splash of color you don't even know. But the cleats themselves are actually reflective. I forgot what they're inspired by, but they look really cool in these pictures that we've got here. Like you can see how cool they really are and some of the details that go into them.
I may be wrong, but are they inspired from like the Spider-Verse Jordans that came out? Not the blue and red ones, but there was like a purple one that came out, and that's what it makes me think of.
I mean, maybe I don't know much about those, so it's a possibility. But
that's what I think about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, what's with cool. So does he own two pairs of them, a white version and a gray version?
No, so that's like a reflective.
Yeah, the gray part is actually reflective. So you've seen this effect in some of the like Addy Zeros and stuff. Yep. You put a flashlight on them or something, they'll like reflect and glow.
3M, right? 3M material.
Yeah. I love that stuff, dude. I think that stuff's so sick. Cool. Big fan of reflective stuff. It's my favorite.
All right, moving on to the Packers.
Ooh, so next up we got Kashan. We've talked about him before. What's his name? Keyshawn Nixon.
Keyshawn Nixon.
All right. Keyshawn Nixon. So these are just a regular pair of dunks, custom painted by arts_undefined. Stupid clean. I mean, this dude's got some serious cleat heat. He's had it all season long. And these are, they're pretty cool. A couple different shades of yellow. We got some splatter going on and then some green details as well. and I just think it's really clean. There's not really much else to say about them. You guys think they're clean?
I wanted to say those were like the Grateful Dead inspired dunks, but I forgot the Grateful Dead ones have blue on them. But they look like the Grateful Dead dunks to me. Instead of
I
instead of
can
the blue,
see it,
yeah, instead of blue, there's green on it.
yeah.
I
It's
like
just
those.
missing like the fluffiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
But
Those are cool.
they're cool. They're cool.
All right. Who's next? What is this? Oh, your boy.
Yes, dude. This is the drippiest player, not in the NFL, but he's one of the drippiest linebackers in football. This is Mac Wilson. We did him last week for my best look, I think. And he's a pair of Jordan 3s. Like these are the OG cement colorway. And like with that Patriots uniform, this is a perfect combination. I mean, and the rest of the drip too is insane. I wanted to make him my best look again, but had to switch it up for you guys. But either way, man, super clean pair of customs. Somebody commented these are done by Marvin Baruta, so shout out to him. I know he does a lot of the work for the Chicago Bears guys. Yeah, no, these are clean. I think they're perfect complements to the Patriots uniforms. Tony, I feel like these are Cleat, like you like. I feel like you're with these.
I remember having these shoes.
Oh, there you go. So yeah. Yep. Also, he's got somebody's Jordan Superbad 5 PEs on.
Yeah.
Maybe Gilmore, or maybe Donta Hightower. Either way. Next up, we have a pair from Justin Jefferson. So this man finally back on the field for like a couple seconds. Unfortunately, got hurt again. Hope he's back next week. But he's rocking a very cool pair of cleats that Under Armour kind of put together for him as a PE. It was just kind of embodying like the idea of like the best receiver and like a world-class best receiver in football. It's gold. I mean, that's kind of the golden standard. Wow, funny. It's got some cool designs on there, solid logos, JJ logos. He only wore them for a little bit, obviously, but I thought they were pretty cool. And the details on them are pretty insane.
Yeah, he's actually in the process of getting murdered in that picture.
Yeah, you should be fined for using this photo.
Yeah, that was the picture. I cropped out the guy who laid the hit, but there was not a lot of pictures of him because of that hit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, that's probably in bad taste, but I had to get the Cleat heat. I had to.
It's like it's a sick photo. That's the problem. But you just if you see that photo, you're like, damn.
Yeah,
it's one of those moments before disasters photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, if you just like look at it, you're like, oh, cool, and then 1 second later he's on the ground in pain. But oh well, he'll be all right. Hopefully, he'll be back.
Please. Please.
Ooh. Repeat.
For your sake,
Last
too,
one.
Justin.
All right, we already talked about this guy a little bit with Evan's best look of the week. DJ Moore, super clean, simple, pink pair of Nike Dunk football cleats. Doesn't get much cleaner than this. I mean, it's just cool. Obviously, supporting breast cancer awareness kind of reminds me of like the back in the day when October was just full of pink accessories and stuff. Kind of took me back to there, but I mean, super clean, super simple. Yeah, good pair of cleats, man. Good way to end it off. I'm a fan of these. And I know Evan is too.
Those are sweet. Yep. I like those.
Sweet.
I promise when I do these, I'm not picking guys off of your cleat heats or your best looks.
You just look at it, you're like, those are nice.
Let's take Devin's right there. Yeah, thanks, Devin.
I see what you're doing, man. These guys don't know that this cleat heat goes live like the second we hit record on these podcasts. So
I did it with Jalen Hurts too. Yeah, I did it with Jalen Hurts too on accident.
Yeah,
we think alike. That's all.
We'll see.
Oh, we're on the same wavelength. That's all.
That's true. We know ball. We know equipment ball.
Yep. When it looks good, we know it.
Yeah, man, that'll do it for the Cleat Heat, man.
And the episode.
All right.
Cut.
All right. Well, if you guys watch this far, you're a very small number of you. So again, we appreciate it as this is something we are trying to grow. It's going to take a long time to grow, and we're still trying to find our groove in this thing. So we appreciate you guys that want to see this stuff. And we would also obviously love a way to appreciate you guys at some point in the future. So if you have any ideas for that, if you have anything you want to talk about, obviously the dripper skip and the questions is the easiest way to interact with us. But if you want to do something else, just leave some comments down below, and then we can do that too. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you in a week. Peace.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.